everybody, this video is for anyone working on kicking over from wheel pose for yoga, and I'm going to share just a few pointers and tips that I've learned along my journey. So let's start. Make sure that your back is nice and warmed up, and your hip flexors and your shoulders, because you're going to be using all of that. Very first thing I want to suggest is, if you are comfortable getting into wheel pose from a handstand, I would suggest practicing from that direction. The reason that I prefer this way is because your hands are already set up and your wrists they're already set up in a direction that will help. One, it will help protect your wrists and your arms. I've kind of had injury from previously practicing kicking over from wheel because my wrists weren't set up in the right position. So if you can get into wheel position that way, go for it. I would highly recommend that. You can also get into wheel the other way, but the reason I don't like this is because I can't necessarily tell how aligned my wrists and my arms are. If I go from handstand, I can see exactly where my hands are and where they need to be. So here from wheel pose, I'm going to kick over. If you can't do this or it's too scary, feel free to go the other way. So if you've never done this before, it's very scary at first, and you probably want to have a spotter just to start out. A few tips for practicing that I did starting out. I start with my stronger, more dominant foot on the ground. That's the foot I'm going to be kicking up with. So I used to practice just kind of getting that motion, practicing doing that over and over and over. You might want to start, sorry, my head is getting a little woozy. I would probably suggest starting with a couple of sofa cushions stacked up on top of each other, if your flexibility in your back is not that good, or if you're just a little scared to do it. And hopefully this tutorial will also benefit those of you who, like me, only can successfully kick over once every, I don't know, 5 or 10 times. When I'm not consciously thinking about what I'm doing, I still have a hard time catching my kickovers. So, just a few basic things that I'm going to share. First, make sure your wrists are set up nice, straight. So first of all, I like to make sure that instead of moving my feet closer to make my wheel tighter, I usually move my hands a little closer. A tighter wheel will make for an easier kickover. So I start with my dominant foot closer to my hands. I bend my knees, and then I literally just kick that my weaker leg over to propel my body over. One of the most important things, and if you've watched my forearm wheel tutorial, I talk about this a lot. I talk about leading with your chest. If you're really just focusing on trying to propel your legs over and you're trying to just muscle through it, you're not going to have as much success doing it that way. Leading with the chest, opening up through the chest as you kick over, is going to help bring your legs over a lot more smoothly and successfully. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm here. As I start to kick over, watch me. I'm not going to lead from my chest this time. I'm just going to try to propel my legs over. Oh, I really had to chuck my legs to get over. Now, if I do this by leading with the chest, it makes such a huge difference. Okay, so I'm bringing my hands closer to my feet. What I'm doing when I lead with my chest means when I bring my legs over, I'm pulling through, following through with my chest. It protects your back a lot more, because by leading through the chest, what you're doing is you're really pulling through with the chest. As you do that, you're continuing to keep the curvature of your spine as you go through the movement. So having your wrists in the right position, having a tight wheel, leading through with your chest, those are all factors that are going to help you in doing a successful kickover. Let me do it one more time. So wrists, tight wheel, as comfortably and safely as you can, leading with the chest as you kick over. See how I'm kind of pulling through with my chest? That's what you want to work for. The last thing that I would suggest doing is shifting your gaze as you kick over. So as I'm leading through, I'm looking in the direction that I want to go. Actually doing that is going to help you with your stall. If you're working on a stall, seeing stars, if you're working on a stall, doing a shift gaze is going to help you to stall a lot better. I just thought of one other tip as I was doing that. So wrists, tight wheel, bringing your arms closer to your hands, reaching through, pulling through with the chest as you kick over, and the gaze shift. Those are all important things. The last thing that will help you with your kick over, well, another thing, not the last thing, is to kind of bend your arms as you're kicking over. So watch my arms as I'm kicking over. I kind of go down, and then I bring them back up as my feet come over. That will give your feet a little less height that they have to kick over. So let me do that again. Alright, so I'm here, my hands in a little bit. I'm going to bend a little bit. Bend the arms. That's going to give you a little bit of a boost as you kick over. As you get better, and as you practice more with your kickovers, have more consistent success, you can practice with straight leg kickovers, which I'm not very good at yet, obviously. It makes it look prettier, and I'm sure there's other benefits that I honestly don't know. But anyway, so those are some pointers. Hope that helps some of you guys. Namaste.